What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy Adrian today here with Fragheads, and today I'm going to be doing a follow-up video for you because what I did is I talked about this in another video of a travel-sized bottle that is out here, and it's Lancôme Hypnôse, and I'm doing a follow-up video on this because I didn't do the breakdown, and this is one of those fragrances that floats under the radar because it's been out for a while, but it smells phenomenal. It gets your attention, it gets you those compliments, it gets people to notice you.
Who the f is that guy? Who the f is that?
And it's very subtle and very alluring and a very intriguing fragrance because you don't really know what to think about it. But before we go ahead and do that, let's hit that intro roll, pop on this music, and get into it. Let's go ahead and hit that intro roll. But before we do that, why don't you go ahead and put on that juice that makes you feel loose so you can smell like Zeus, and let's get into it. All right, everybody, welcome back in. Today, as I said, I'm gonna be talking about this one right here, Lancôme Hypnôse. And I'm gonna show you that little label, but yes, I'm gonna show you the full-size bottle and how I don't play around. And this is a follow-up video. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is I did a video on how to save your decants. If you have not seen that video, if you are a fan of decants and you have a lot of these things, you really should watch that video, because I'm gonna teach you a little secret that you probably don't know about that's gonna save you a lot of money on your decants. I'm not gonna tell you what that is. You have to check out that video. But today we're gonna be talking about Lancôme Hypnôse. The reason why I'm talking about this fragrance is, honestly, I saw this in the store back in the early 2000s. I can't remember if it was a Macy's or if it was a Marshall's or Neiman Marcus or wherever it was. But when I saw it, it engaged my visuals first because the bottle was intriguing to me. It literally looked like somebody took a piece of glass and just twisted it. And it was different than everybody else's bottles. And it did its job. It got me to come to the counter and actually spray it. And I'm so thankful that it did, because in that time frame, everybody was wearing Acqua di Gio. Phenomenal fragrance in its own right, not knocking it at all, but it was popular. And there were a few other ones that were popular, and this was not a super mainstream fragrance. But the moment that I smelled it, I knew that I had found a hidden gem and that I had to have it, because it just created a magical aroma in the air that nothing else was doing at the time. And one of the notes that they used in it that was doing this was cardamom. Now, you know of cardamom because La Nuit de l'Homme actually made it extremely popular. That is the main top note in that. That's the one that invites you and it says, hey, how you doing? I got your nose. Let's have a conversation. That's what it does. That's what it did with this. But guess what? This was the predecessor. This actually came out in 2007. And so it was a predecessor to La Nuit de l'Homme, which actually didn't come out until 2009, a full 2 solid years. So I was rocking and wearing this fragrance and had that popular note that everybody loves about La Nuit de l'Homme before it was even mainstream. So I was wearing this and it just garnished me so many compliments. It was kind of one of those things that you would walk by. I would walk by a woman and she would just catch a little whiff of what it was, and she was like I literally saw that in the bar a couple of times. Walk by, and I would purposely walk. Little trick of the trade. So what you can do is, if you're in that hunt, always have a wingman. This is a segue moment. If you have a wingman with you, what I recommend you do is, if you are using a fragrance and you're doing it good, make sure if you're going to go out to a club, you got to put a good amount of sprays on, because there's going to be a lot of stuff in there. Use a wingman. When you're walking by this person, slow your step down ever so slightly. Slightly pause for a brief moment. Don't acknowledge them. Do not acknowledge them. And continue to walk on. The reason why you are doing this, and I'm gonna demonstrate what you wanna do, is you're gonna wanna walk just normal, pause like you're looking for something, and then continue to go. You are allowing your smell, your fragrance, to work its magic for you because you have presented yourself visually. You have shown them what they potentially could like, and then you are giving them a whiff of your smell. You are hitting two factors. You're not touching people and you're not tasting people. And I did a video on that one too. So if you're hitting those two notes right off the bat and you're hitting them hard, you got a good presentation of yourself and you got a good smell. Guess what, bro? You already ahead of the game in multiple levels. So when you do that, and I was doing this with Lancôme Hypnôse, it actually presents yourself in a proper fashion. And that's what led me into having conversations with a lot of these women out here. I would have the conversation, they're like, man, you smell intoxicating. What is it that you were wearing? And I was like, you know, it's a little trade secret. Sometimes I would tell them that, or I would just say, hey, it's called hypnose. I'm hypnotizing you with my aurora of fragrance. And it would just lead into that conversation. Now, I can't teach you how to spit game. I can't tell you how to, conversate and have these conversations with these people and stuff like that. That's something you're gonna have to learn on your own. I'm here to do fragrances. But you can make this fragrance be your opening line to that person. And that's what this was doing for me significantly, because I didn't smell like anybody else out there. And there's still not many fragrances out there that smell like this. Now, what you came in here to find out is you wanna find out four main things. Hey, I'm considering buying this now. You got in my head. Let me know what's this really about. So you want to know about projection. You want to know about longevity. You want about the notes and what it smells like, right? Okay, cool. So longevity, I've worn this many times. On your skin, solid 8 hours. You're going to get 8 hours all day long. You put it on your clothes, it's going to cash you 12 hours. You're going to be in there like Flynn. This is one spray. Now, projection wise, it is about a 6 to 7 foot bubble radius based on my personal experiences and stuff like that. If you're in a larger space, more dense, more populated, of course, put on more sprays. Lancôme Hypnôse. Now, what this actually smells like, because we've talked about the longevity and we talked about the projection, it has the notes of cardamom and mint, bergamot on the top, mandarin orange, lavender in the middle to smooth out that base. So you have some citrus notes, you have that sweet accord in the top, and the mint does something for this that not many other fragrances do, because mint has been used very carefully in this. Now the base notes are amber, patchouli, and musk. So it's very masculine, a little bit flirtatious, and very sweet. Now I'm gonna spray this on a card. Now I'm gonna put this on the card so you can check it out. And again, let it air. So I can't tell you anybody this enough. Let it air. You want to smell what it's like in the air. 9 times out of 10, people aren't gonna be coming up sniffing your arm. They're gonna be smelling in the air. You want to see what it's doing right here, wafting it towards your face. If you enjoy the fragrance this way, when they get closer, they're going to enjoy it even more so. You know what I mean? So look, what this smells like. It's very aromatic. It's a little spicy. The weird thing is it has this little powdery nuance in it, like slightly makeup-y almost, but it almost has a boozy-like quality. There's no booze notes in this, and the only thing that I gather out of this is that it's mixing with that musk and the patchouli. The only thing I gather out of this is that the musk is mixing with the amber and the patchouli to kind of give it this boozy-ish vibe off of it. So what this kind of reminds me of is a visual representation. This is hard for me to give you a visual representation because I have so many memories about this fragrance, and a good fragrance will trigger memories for you. So I'm trying to visualize and define what it comes to me in that moment and what it should look like to you. So This smells like a very luxurious cold glass, one of those thick glasses with on the rocks of a rum and coke. But not your basic rum and coke. You're not getting Bacardi off of this or anything like that. You're getting a nice aged Puerto Rican spiced rum. Like those rums, like all my Cubans, all my Dominicans, and all my people on the islands and stuff like that, you know what I'm talking about. That concoction that you all put together, that you be putting all those cinnamon sticks in there, and you be putting anise in it, and you put all this stuff in these containers, and then you put in like this decent quality rum, and you let that stuff age for like months, and then you only pop it open for those special celebrations. That's what it smells like. You know exactly what I'm talking about. If you've ever had that, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It is one of those. It is one of those. This is a party. This is a party in your mouth. This is a party for your nose. It is inviting. It is alluring. I am here to have a good time type of fragrance. And it is very smooth. You're not going to offend anybody with this. You could wear this to the office very easily because it's not overly offensive. And the sillage effect on it is not overbearing. There's some fragrances out there you just simply can't wear to the office. This is not one of those. You could easily wear it to the office because you're only going to create like a 6-foot bubble. You're not casting it out 15 feet filling up the whole room unless you're going to overspray. Like I know there's some chronic oversprayers. But hey, you do you. But overall, this is a very phenomenal fragrance. In my mindset, that this out of a 1 out of a 10, this rocks right around like an 8.75 for me. 8.75 to an 8.9. It borders on that 9 for me. And that's me taking out the memory standpoint. If it was just from a strictly 9, a mindset, and for me, and from the memories that it triggers for me, this is a 9.5 because I have so many good times with friends and going out to the bars and picking up certain things and being around certain people that this just triggers that stuff for me. So like if I take that out of the equation, just the fragrance itself, 8.75, almost a 9. This is a great buy. It's a great thing to have in your collection. The bottle looks cool. I think you should have it in there. And big thing, it's under the radar because it's been out for a while. It's one of these low-key fragrances that you could have in your rotation and spice it up a little bit. And when you walk by something, they're like, you smell good. What is that? And if they were around and they have smelled it before, you might trigger those emotions, those good emotions for them. Look, this has been your boy Adrian. Pick up one of these. These travel size atomizers, they're good. If I had a pocket ring, I'd pop it in my pocket, but I'm gonna put it down here. Put it in your pocket, put it in your car before you're about to go out. Lace yourself up, do what you gotta do. This is one that you should have in your rotation. Lancôme Hypnôse. Here's an image of the bottle. Check it out. Nowadays, you can pick it up for a pretty good price. When I first picked it up, it was way more expensive than what it is right now. But I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one.